Hello and welcome to another Retfurb video. On this video we've got a Sony amplifier and tuner. The tuner's got an issue with the sticky relay and we're just going to service the potentiometers on the amplifier. Let's get to the video. So first thing as always, just do a quick demo of what's happening with the system. So you can see straight away the relay's sticking on the tuner. So with this system, the tuner has the power going into it and that sends it out to the amplifier. Now you could rewire the plug so you had a plug for the amplifier direct into the main, so you wouldn't need to do that. But as it stands currently, it's got it so the amplifier turns on, which then turns the amplifier on. So now we've done a quick test of the system, we know what we're working with, so we know there's a sticky relay, so we're going to get inside the system and see if we can rectify it. The first thing we're going to look at is the tuner on this. Obviously when we come to do the amplifier, that's just servicing the potentiometers, so that's a relatively easy job to do, but obviously it's maintenance that needs doing every once in a while to keep the amplifier in optimum working condition. On the tuner it's got two screws either side on the lid, so these just need to be removed and then the lid can be taken off. On this part I've just removed the lid for the relay. It's just a small little cap that goes on top. This just needs to be pulled off. It's sort of clipped on either side, so it comes off relatively easy. I'm just poking at some of the mechanism on the relay, just making sure it's all moving freely before I go any further. Now that I've got access inside of the relay, I'm just going to clean off the terminals best I can. I should imagine that they're probably a bit dirty. I'm just going to use a bit of de-oxit on a bit of tissue and just wipe in on around the surfaces. This system's been used in my office for quite a while now, so I've had this and the amplifier together just running off the PC, just playing music for whilst I'm working. So they've both been working really well. They're pretty good systems, to be fair. The amplifier particularly is really good sound coming out of that. So it's only developed this fault recently and I thought before it gets any worse I'll just sort it out before it goes any further. You can see on the tissue how much dirt's come out from the relay, so this was definitely well needed. On this section of the lid had a bit of sticky tape stuck on there. I'm not sure why it was on there, but I thought I'd remove it before fitting it back on. Now that that's all been cleaned and the relay cap's been refitted, we can now put the lid back on, two screws either side, nice and easy, put it back together and then we can go on to the amplifier. Now switching over to the amplifier to do the service on the potentiometers, just need to remove the lid first. Again, just two screws either side and then the lid can be lifted off. So now that I'm inside of the unit, I'm just going to give it a quick hoover off just to make sure it's clean before we go any further. Now with the volume control, you can get in behind and spray the de-oxit into the potentiometer. With the rest of the controls, you need to remove the front panel first before you get to them. So I'm just going to do the volume control first and then I'm going to get on and remove the front panel. Now that that's done, I can start undoing the screws and release the main part of the front panel. Now that the screws have been removed, you've also got to remove the small light bar that's in behind. This is just clipped in place. There are also 2 electrical connections that need unclipping. Now at this point we can get inside and we can spray the de-oxit into the potentiometers and then work the controls just to get the de-oxit to go all in around. Now that that's all done, we can look at putting it back together. So the screws underneath to hold this metal part in, and then we can get the outer front panel fitted back on. With doing this to the amplifier, it's just part of the general maintenance that's required on them to keep them in best condition. Obviously the potentiometers, they wear as they get older and as they're used, so it's best to try and lubricate them and keep them clean like this, just so it makes them work in their optimum condition. I'm just starting to now put the front fascia panel back on, just clipping in the front light panel, and then we can get it screwed back onto the main shell. So screwing the front panel back on, it's just 2 screws at the top and 2 screws underneath. And then with the lid, it's just 2 screws either side to secure that back in place. If anyone's looking to get a reasonably priced amplifier from the 1980s, I can recommend this TA-V710. It is a really nice amplifier. I've been using it for a while and it's always been really good and gives a really nice sound out of it. So now that it's all back together, we can give it a quick test and just make sure that relay's working all okay. So from that test you can see the relay didn't stick like it was before, it turned on exactly how it should, so another successful repair. Obviously with the amplifier it was just more of a maintenance than a repair, so that will just prolong the life of those potentiometers in the amplifier. Thanks again for watching the video, it's really appreciated. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe and we'll see you on the next one.